Welcome to Dropping In, a podcast of storytelling and interviews with your host, Winter Olympian Mercedes Nichol.
Thank you so much for dropping in. This is series 14, and we are recording on October 27th, 2025. Thank you for coming to drop in. If you're new, I really appreciate you spending the time with us. And if you're coming back and you've listened to all the series, thank you for continuing to drop in. Now, we've learned in this series that motivation is not always easy, and I think a lot of us understand that, but we all pull motivation from different areas. We've heard from Olympians, Paralympians, doctors, change makers, and more to find out what motivates them and keeps them going. Now, this guest has been on Dropping In before, so she is no stranger. She was a guest on episode 109. So if you're curious but more about her, do check that episode out and drop in on episode 109. That was when we were following Team Canada's journey to the Paris Olympics. Now, let me introduce her. It won't be the same introduction as 109 because more has happened and she's just a huge change maker in Canada. So she began as a promising track athlete whose race took an unexpected turn after a serious car accident at the age of 19. From that pivotal moment, she transformed personal adversity into national impact and founding a charity aimed at empowering Canadian athletes. As founder of Can Fund, she helped direct millions, she still does, to support Team Canada athletes, covering everything from coaching to travel, equipment, and nutrition. Alongside her philanthropic work, she has built a thriving art career, hosting her own gallery and collaborating with major Canadian figures and corporations to raise funds through original paintings. This artist, philanthropist, sports advocate, award winner, and trailblazer for Canadian athlete support is ready to drop in one more time. I'm pleased to welcome Jane Roos. Hi, Jane. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome. Today's a good day.
Okay, you're no stranger to the rapid fire.
No.
It's never rapid, so don't worry. It's just so everyone gets to know you again a little bit more if they haven't listened to episode 109. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Hopefully with some new answers.
Yeah. No, they're all new questions.
Okay, good. That's great.
Yeah. So number one's the easiest. Where in the world are you today?
I am currently in Kelowna, BC.
Kelowna, BC.
Stunning Okanagan.
Yeah. How's the weather there?
Beautiful. It's like, it's mad. It's just stunning. It's gorgeous.
Awesome. Number two, coffee in hand or paintbrush first thing in the morning?
Latte.
Okay, good. Number three, which Canadian athlete's story has stuck with you the most? That's a really hard one because you've dealt with so many athletes.
Yeah, I think, with Can Fund, we've now funded over 8,000 athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing about the charity is that you get to know the athletes well before they kind of even are well known on the world stage.
Yeah.
A few, I always say, have really triggered me. Evan Dunphy, race walker, when he was, I think, in grade 3, the teacher said to him, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he was like, not your typical looking athlete, I guess, at the point that time, probably still isn't. He's a race walker. And the teacher said, he wrote Olympian, and the teacher said, I think you need to maybe pick another dream. I always thought that was cool because he shares that story a lot. And I think so often in life, people tell others their limitations, like what they think based on their own personal beliefs. Yeah. So I like Evan's message.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity, Olympian, Paralympian fencer. She always gets me. I have a very just the tenacity and the courage to go out there and do something that is extremely it's just not easy at all.
Yeah.
But I think all the athletes bring something special. I feel like they've all overcome something, and their journey's never what I think most people think it is. It's usually
Yeah.
full of lots of defeat, injuries, negative comments from people. And most of the athletes just push through and keep going. They have no plan B, right? Just plan A. So I get motivated by everyone, I think.
I love that, and I have to touch on Evan a bit because he's no stranger to dropping in. I've had him on episode, 33 and episode 102, and one of them we talked because I just think he's so great, and I do appreciate
Yes.
the story. We talked about poop a lot. 'Cause,
I will not talk about that on this, I promise.
they're good episodes. I appreciate you shouting those 2 out. Brilliant. And also from, like, niche sports that deserve recognition because they do so well as well. Number 4, one word that sums up how art and sport connect for you.
Philanthropy.
Oh, yeah, that totally tracks. Okay. Number 5, if Can Fun had a theme song, what would it be?
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable. Ooh, that is, like, passionate. Okay. Number 6, what's your go-to way to reset when life feels hectic?
I listen to a lot of podcasts per
Yeah.
se. I have a few faves.
Okay.
But
Dish.
honestly, like I'm a big Jesse Itzler. I have a lot of favorite podcast people, but
Okay.
honestly, Brian Williams,
Oh, yeah.
closing of the London Olympics,
Yeah.
his montage he does, his speech at the end. So Brian Williams is a CBC commentator,
Yeah.
was for
Yeah.
CBC Sports. And he does this montage at the end of the games in London.
Mhm.
And whenever I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed or not, like I feel like I'm not in my lane,
Yeah.
I listen to that
That little,
that
clip.
video. It's on YouTube, and I think it's if there's like however many views, I think half of them are mine because I'm always listening
Amazing.
to it.
That inspires you to keep going.
It's his language. It's
Okay.
and he talks about the honor of what he does
Mhm.
and telling the athletes stories. And I just feel very, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps. I cry usually when I watch it, and it just makes me feel very like, okay, I got this.
Cool. Very, very cool. I like that. And
I think I've told many people that. I don't, it's so true though. It's the one thing. If I'm
that's really
feeling
cool.
like, if I know I'm not in the zone,
Yeah.
I'll watch Brian Williams.
Shout out Brian. Nice.
Mr. Olympics.
Number 7, which painting of yours tells the most personal story?
Oh, well, I think
Mhm.
that's hard for me because most of my paintings I do are commissions for people.
Okay.
And it's usually their personal stories that I'm putting on the commission.
Got it.
So a lot of it is, I just finished one. It was 10 feet by 4 feet. It's an entire family's history
Yeah.
from when their grandparents to now, and all of their family recipes, stories, nicknames. And I created it for their kitchen.
Yeah.
Um, so most of the paintings I do, people will ask me to create something that's very personal to them.
Okay.
And I think that's where I feel like I do a lot of text and words, and like I'll do wedding vows, but and I'll use the colors. Like it's very personal, and it's very custom to the colors and the size and everything they want. I
Yeah.
think for me, I don't know. I think for me, art is an escape.
Mhm.
And when I'm in the zone, I'll just create. And I think all of it's personal because it's such a good, for me as an artist anyway, it's when I'm doing something like for my family or for like for an exhibit coming up. Like I did this whole She Who Dares collection. It was all women and women paintings with words, and I think maybe that. I mean, I'm such a huge advocate for women entrepreneurs and strong women and, women showing up and caring for each other. So maybe that, but all of them, I can't really.
Yeah. You have a little bit of soul in all of them.
Yes. Well, it's so
Mhm.
personal. Even
Mhm.
missions are personal because people can give you so much direction, but it's
Yeah.
still, I'm
Yours.
still the artist, right? So
Yeah,
it's still my interpretation.
for sure. For sure. Well, your art is beautiful, and I hope everyone checks it out.
Thank you.
Number 8, what's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
Uh, Surprised to learn about me.
I mean, we know how passionate you are.
Well, I do
Is
love asking for money, which most people don't.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
collect 10 no's a day, which people often don't like no.
What was that? Sorry?
I collect 10 no's a day, which people don't really
Oh,
like. Everyone, I think, maybe pushes back from no. I love getting a no because I feel like I'm just, it's, do you want a cup of coffee? Yes or no kind of question. Everything in life, I think, is an invitation. Um,
okay.
I'm a bit more of an introvert than most people think I am.
No, you're not.
I
Really?
am. I am. If I'm at a party or an event, like when we host events,
Yeah.
I'll usually be the person in the back room or creating and just busy, whereas my
Okay.
husband Conrad is the more extrovert. Like at the end of the night, I'll be like, "Who did you talk to? How many great conversations do you have?" I'm very
Okay.
like small groups of people. I love,
Yeah.
like as a speaker, I talk to large audiences,
Yeah.
but I'm more of an introvert. I'm not a good. I'm not a big small talk person. I just
Okay.
want to get to the, why are you here? What wakes you up? What do you like? Sometimes it just overwhelms people. It's like, whoa.
Totally fair. That's valid. That's wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, I don't know if I asked you this in the last ones, but if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
You did ask me that, and I don't know what I said last time, but I think now, I think honestly, if I had a superpower, it would, and I don't know if this would work, but I think to show people the greatness in themselves.
Oh, I like that.
I think the world would be so much better off if we
I like
saw
that.
what we're capable of.
Yeah. So many
And
people only see like you see all the negative about yourself, but like people are like, "Oh, you're so confident." I'm like, "Well, I don't feel like I come off confident," but people from the outside see different things. So that's super interesting.
I mean, like, I think if you can go through your day, say you go through your day and you get 10 compliments and one person says something negative or it lands on you negatively,
Yeah.
that will get the airtime. And I just
Mhm.
think sometimes it depends on who the person is. Like, we don't kind of gauge, well, where did that advice come from or where did that comment come from and who is
Yeah.
this person and do they even relate to our values? I don't know. I think the world, I mean, you have such a one life to live, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm very big on what do you want to create in this one life? And I think if people could honestly see themselves how other people see them,
Mhm.
I think it'd be such a gift.
I love that. Okay, we're on the last one. Are you ready? I've
Yes.
I've asked this one to everyone, and if I did share it with you. So, what's the one word that describes how you stay motivated after, like, through tough times?
Show up.
Oh, can you expand on that?
Yeah, I'm really like lately, I think every day I challenge myself to show up. Like just like I tell people how you do anything is how you do everything. And I think we've gotten to a society that we don't necessarily feel like we can lean on each other as much or we don't need each other as much, but I think probably more than ever we do. So
Mhm.
I feel like I'll just show up for people, and it's not like me saying to you, hey Mercedes, if you ever need anything, like let me know, because
Mhm.
that puts the onus on you, right? Like now you have to tell me if you
Right.
need me. So I'll just show up. I just show up for people in my life and even for like strangers. It's just show up. Like be the difference that maybe somebody needs that day, or even for yourself. Like just show up for yourself, show up for
Yeah.
others.
Very cool. Very cool. That was it. That was a rapid fire. We are through it. We've made it. We're going to talk about the main topic, unlocking motivation. You did touch on it in there in the sense that, just, well, you used your one word, showing up, which I think everyone in the series so far has had a different word. And
Okay.
it's just expanding my horizons on how we all find motivation in different areas. So I appreciate that. Um, you've shared your story on our other episode, how the injury got your mind going, and you really wanted to support Canadian athletes, and you have been doing that through and through. You said 8,000 different athletes you've helped support. That's millions and millions of dollars. You're okay with hearing no because you're just passionate about getting that support out there, which is so needed in Canada and other countries as well. But I mean, I have been a Can Fund recipient multiple times, and so I'm so grateful to have you on here. And I do like to give back to Can Fund where and when possible. So let's get into like kind of the details, like year after year, Olympics after Olympics. You've been there and supported all these athletes. Like, how do you stay motivated when you get 10 no's in a day?
Well, yeah, because Italy will be our 12th Olympics for Can Fund. So that's a lot of years, a lot of Olympics. And it's definitely a pattern we see, like in a few months from now, something extraordinary will happen.
Mm-hmm.
The games will begin and an entire country watches. And during those 16 days, these athletes become into our homes, they come into our phones, our laptops, and people watch them and they get to know these extraordinary examples of, I think, bravery, resilience, courage, people who, like, again, have no plan B, it's just plan A. I think for me, I stay very motivated by really connecting to the person's story.
Yeah.
So we have a new application right now with Can Fund. Over 900 athletes will apply. And I do take the time to read a lot of they have to fill in this detailed application. It's like, why do they need the funding?
Yeah.
What do they want to use it for? So every athlete who applies to Can Fund receives $8,000 and they can get it up to twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for me, listening to their stories and understanding that, on any given day, they have to qualify.
Yeah.
They're going into major debt to do it.
Yeah.
They don't want a handout ever. I've never met one athlete who wants a handout,
Mm-hmm.
but they wear our flag.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so few people get to wear our flag.
Yeah.
So I feel like who the athletes be in our culture, who they show up as, to me is very motivating always.
Mm-hmm.
I often will question, am I as unreasonable as them? I don't really want a plan B either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to go to the end of my life being like just done, like just used up, giving it my all, no regrets. And
Amazing.
I feel like that is what I do. So I use the expression, how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's not easy living in that mantra, but I feel like I do give it my all. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
today could be the very best day of my life
Amazing.
today.
Amazing.
And I think it's one thing to say it and very different to live it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the people who know me, I think the best, would say that I walk the talk. Like, I will be super
Right.
unreasonable and I will do things that are super uncomfortable. Even now, like, the fund has been going for so many years, and I'll just do things that I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
call these 20 people today and I'm going to ask them to show up for our athletes. And yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. It's so wild. I was just hanging out with my friend who was a professional snowboarder, and she was on episode 100, and she overcame getting hit by a truck. And we discuss things in the sense as we've both had traumatic injuries, and I'm looping you into this because you've also had a traumatic injury. And life after a traumatic injury, priorities shift a little, I would say. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but at least that's what her and I have felt, is that maybe our values and the way that we lived life before. Yes, being a professional athlete is it's selfish. And we had Phil Marquis on, and he's like, but you have to be selfish. That's just the way that you have to be as an athlete, and there's no sorries for that. But I think what we were discussing is when something like this happens, your shift and your views come a little bit different. And again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but from your injury, you blossomed this amazing initiation. Do you think that had something to do with it?
Oh yeah, I mean, the car accident that I was in, my best friend at the time was driving and she fell asleep at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
There's two of us in a car. We go off a cliff. She dies in the accident. I live.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, I just reconnected with her parents. And I'm doing this 100-day challenge. This is what you say, what motivates you.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things is I had lost contact with them. She was an only child. I know how hard it was for them at the time. And I totally understand now, being a mom of two
Mm-hmm.
daughters. But I'm doing this 100-day challenge leading up to my birthday. And one was like really intentional to see if I could reconnect with them. And I have, and I've actually seen them like 3 times. And
Amazing.
it's just a reminder that, on any given day, at any given moment, none of this is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I think, most people will live in a very black and white, or, a lot of people go after what they want, but not, a lot of people go after what they can get, but not what they want.
Yeah.
And I don't think we live in a society so much that says, okay, this is your life,
Mm-hmm.
the day you're born, the day you die. What are you going to do in between? Like, what's that journey? What's that roadmap for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you've gone, for me anyway, personally, what I went through gave me kind of a kaleidoscope look at life. Those kaleidoscopes that
Yeah.
you look through. I feel like I look at things so differently. And, I never worry about the how. So if people come to me and like, hey, I want to create this, I'm like, okay, why do you want to create it? What's your why? I'm always like, bad neighborhood, good neighborhood, right? Stay out of your head, live in your heart. Why do you want to do this? And I think the challenge is when you are clear on your why, or when you want to do something, most people will look for, like, they'll go and share with a lot of people and ask for people's almost permission. And I'm the opposite of that. I would say that if I want to do something, I have a strong group of people around me, but I'm also kind of in the zone of like, I don't know if anyone is like me in a way they think, or how they act in their day. And so if you're going to ask somebody who's always, been very cautious for advice, it might be a nice thing to understand. Okay, that's their perspective. But I don't think I've ever been cautious. Like I don't think I'm that way inclined. So
Right.
I think what I learned from my car accident is bet on myself, figure out my why, which is to help people succeed, like crystal clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
And don't take anything for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And really just be like show up for people, show up for your country, show up for your community, just show up.
Mm-hmm.
And give opportunity to people that maybe wasn't there before.
Isn't that lovely? I think, so many amazing takeaways there. I want to dive a little bit into your art, because I feel like that almost gets overshadowed with all of the philanthropy you do. That how do you stay motivated, or is that you said it was an escape? Is it, and just explain like how you set time aside to do that.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like my compass is very like I feel like every so often, I mean, obviously people will come to me for commissions, And that's always, such an honor to create something that's going to go in somebody's home or an office or something like at their cottage. But I think just CanFun. I think for me, I can't. I have a hard time turning off the entrepreneur in myself.
Yeah.
I think I'm, as much as I created a charity, I think who I am as a person is an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so I'm constantly on that zone. Like, how do I do this? What should I do? Oh my goodness, I can help here. And I think what art does for me, and when I get into the studio and just start to paint, minutes turn to hours. Hours can be like, all of a sudden it's, 5 hours have gone by and I've just escaped.
Yeah.
And I always listen to music. I
Okay.
always listen to, or I never listen to a podcast when I paint, just music.
Yeah.
And I do paint classes as well, but those are more teaching. So, but when I do paint for myself, like just when I'm doing work, I have to be by myself. That's my time. Like some people run and they want to, like, they'll go on long runs to just recharge.
Yeah.
For me, it's being in the studio. I get to recharge in the studio and just kind of feel grounded again and just feel creative. I feel like that's the side of me that really thrives.
That's your little introverted time.
I am an introvert. No one believes that.
Very cool. Very cool. I've gotten so many amazing motivational takeaways from you today. I do want to touch on your new initiative, because this is something you haven't done before, and all of Canada can get involved. Do you want to share about that?
Yeah, I think it's like I think it's the most exciting thing I've ever done, which says a lot. I think I love collaboration paintings. I love using words and text in my paintings. And I've done a lot of collaborations with famous Canadians. So one thing I did with CanFun was called The Art of Accomplishment. And I asked famous Canadians to share their mantras, their lyrics, their words. So Gord Downie wrote lyrics, Shefflin Crawford wrote recipes, hockey players, everybody just shared on a canvas. So I painted the canvas and then they put their words and we sold it at an auction and raised money for CanFun. And so I've always wanted to keep art and sport and philanthropy. Everything I do, right? So the painting's called Who We Are. It's kind of a love letter, I guess, to Canada. It's bringing coast to coast to coast to coast, like the three coasts, saying to people, what does Canada mean to you? One word. And that word will go in the painting. And it's never been done in any other country. And I feel like at a time right now where, years from now, when like my daughters are older, I want them to look at this painting and be like, this is what a country stood for. This is what Canada meant to an entire nation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an opportunity for people who've never been in a painting, who would like to show up and share their word for Canada. It's a thank you to this country that, although I think many of us take it for granted, grandparents, great parents, all immigrated here. It's given everyone so much, and it's a beautiful country. So the idea is minimum 1 million people.
Okay.
So I really want it to be, a collaboration with a country.
Yep.
One word each.
Yep.
And then we're going to create a book. So it would have your name, your word, your city. And we want the painting to go across the country. I mean, ideally down the road, maybe end up in the National Gallery of Canada.
Yeah.
So then I thought, okay, well, if I want to do this, which I am, so I have the canvases already. People have already been submitting words, and it's Our Words is the website. So Our Words, and the idea is share one word, share a word for every family member, share a word for everybody in your company. Each word is $25. And that's where I had to pick a charity. I thought, okay, and of course it's CanFund.
Yeah.
So I thought here would be a great opportunity. These athletes wear the maple leaf. They are what we embody as a country.
Yeah.
So the Who We Are painting is really like if you were going to run a 5K, a 10K, it's something you can participate in.
Yeah.
The the piece is Can Fund.
Yeah.
So with every word, people will get a tax receipt and the name of the athlete they funded, and they get to be part of the painting.
So cool.
I know it's everybody I've shared it with, and I told you I collect a lot of no's. So people who have said no to me are like, this is a great idea. I love this. I want to be part of your painting. And I'm like, okay. And I really do think it's a celebration of a time in our country where, being more proud to be Canadian, showing up, telling people what this country means to you is, I don't know, it's kind of, I love it. I love it so much. And I do love that it will support Canadian athletes as well, who then inspire everyone to look at themselves and maybe think, okay, I can do that too.
So cool. I mean, where did you come up with the idea of this? I mean, it's like a collaboration of all your works, but including all of Canada. Like where like how did you get that motivation where did it come from?
I think it was literally, early summer, I was thinking, I was working on another commission for a family on all their words. And I was just thinking, like, I wonder if if a country's ever collaborated on a painting. So I did a little bit of research and nothing showed up. And then I was thinking to myself, well, right now, more than ever, I think we as a country need to remind the world who we are, remind each other who we are, tell people in our communities, like, one word, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a gift to Canada, and then I was thinking, so few people have ever been part of a painting, so it's unique. It's rare, right? To say I'm part of a painting. I mean, you're an artist, you understand what it's like to paint, but this is a collaboration that
it's so cool.
Yeah, I've done a lot of collaborations, but never of this magnitude and this size.
Yeah.
And I actually got two 10 feet by 4 feet canvases. So I'm like, well, maybe it's going to become two paintings, side by side. So I don't know. I'm excited about it.
That's the math right there. The
people.
math of a million words on 2 canvases. How's that gonna
Well,
look?
and the funny thing is people are very proud to submit their words. And
No
a
doubt.
lot of people are going on social media and sharing what their word for Canada is.
Oh, can you share some of the words?
Oh, I mean, we've had them in all different languages.
Okay.
We've had majestic, freedom, proud, but we've also had resilient. We've had gratitude.
Cool.
Then we've had, like, it's just, there's so many now that people have been sharing, but and again, all different languages as well. But then a lot of people are sharing stories of why they picked that word to me, or they'll share something about, like, again, that's why I mentioned it. Like, my great grandparents moved here from Canada to Canada from wherever they've come from, and people are just sharing like the pride they have, or the opportunity that Canada has given them, or what this country means to them. And I feel like, Canadians are often, we're supposed to be like less, less celebratory of who we are as a nation. And I think this is kind of saying, no, actually, for this moment, for this painting, for this, project, stand up, show up for your country, be that person that says, this is what Canada means to me. And at the same time, you just happen to be helping out a Canadian athlete as well. So it's, I don't know, when I came up to it, it was like that. I knew the name of the painting right away, the name of the website, our words, the language came really quickly.
So cool. I mean, the website, you can get it through Can Fund. But it is really special and very affordable for people. It's $25, one word, one country, one collaboration painting. I absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful. I can't wait to see how it all comes about. And then the book that you're doing sounds just so uh collaborative, I guess the word would be like just having so many people that it can be really inclusive for people.
Yeah, and a lot of people are sharing their words, and then they're doing signs, and or they're doing like a lot of like some of the athletes have done their words like in a field, or they've
Oh,
they've written it
cool.
in like um, nature, and they've shown a picture of them like out in like the woods of like in Whistler or wherever they
Yeah.
are. So I feel like those pictures will also go in the book as well.
Okay.
So that in itself will be, I think, beautiful.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
or a story. Everything's a story.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you have your word chosen out? Because I think I need to like ruminate on. I know you've told me about this for a while, and I'm like, well, I just don't know what my word is yet.
It's funny because some people are very um that like they like just can't think of like I don't know what my one word would be.
Yeah.
Like what should I be? And I'm like, well, you can pick more than one. You just have to submit it.
Yeah, there you
Um,
go.
but it's funny, and the words are $25 each, but we've had people donate $1,000 for a word, $8,000 for a
Yeah.
word, $5,000 for a word. I think people are just saying like it's almost a thank you to Canada, but also like again, I think the history of this will be years from now. This canvas
Mhm.
will be very meaningful to people. It will be
Definitely.
very like this is what a country says about who we are to the
Very
world.
cool.
And I
Very,
think
very cool.
that to me is a bigger part of the message,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
that everybody's name and word and city will be captured.
Yeah.
It's just going to be very I think we need to do more of this in Canada to say this is who
For
we are,
yeah,
right? And
for sure.
we lead, we tell people.
Yeah. Is there a deadline for doing this?
No, right now I really want to get to 1 million people.
Okay.
So that will be the deadline. Like once we
Okay.
get to the million mark of
Yeah.
people, then it will be like, okay, then
Okay.
well, because you can't really say it's a collaboration with a country unless you have like a certain percentage. And I'm like, okay, the minimum has to be 1 million.
Cool.
Like, because
Yeah.
it's supposed to share everybody in the country.
Yeah. I love it.
One thing I really would love to do is to have every school give one
Mm.
word,
Mhm.
just one word for every school,
Yeah.
and put it part of like maybe the school has their word for the year, or ask the students, and then they do
Mhm.
it like I just think it evokes a lot of pride, but a lot of like heart for
Mhm.
a country.
Mhm. Brilliant. I love it. Well, get on that website, everyone, because you can do that and be part of the million people. I do want to just thank you so much for dropping in. We had so many amazing takeaways. I do like the quote that you use that is your quote. How you do anything is how you do everything. Really, really proud. I realized in the beginning that I said Olympians, but you also support Paralympians. So this is your 12th Olympics. Is that in line with the Paralympics as
Yep.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12th
Um,
Olympics, 12th Paralympics.
yeah, so it's just amazing, and I know the athletes are so grateful. It does either make or break a lot of people's athletic careers, because athletes are so focused and sometimes a little bit stubborn. I'll call myself out on that one. It's not always easy to ask for help, as you let us know. But I really liked the bit that you said, like, that you're fine with being uncomfortable, which a lot of people are not. So I think this is like a personal growth memo for people. Like, it's okay to get uncomfortable. That's the only way you're gonna grow. And just I love that you said that you have 10 no's a day. I'm like, oh, that just hurts my soul a little bit, but that's you being uncomfortable and like how else are you gonna get out of that comfort zone? So very, very cool. I like the being clear on your why, and betting on yourself. And I think a lot of athletes do usually bet on themselves, but we have other than athletes listening. So don't be afraid to get a little confidence behind you, because that's pretty important. And don't take anything for granted. I have to say, you are a phenomenal entrepreneur, and the things that you've done for Canadian athletes. The theme song that you chose, Unstoppable, seems pretty on brand right now. And we thank you so much for showing up over and over again for the Canadian athletes. I mean, 8,000 athletes is a lot of athletes. You've heard a lot of stories. We're trying to get all the stories here on Dropping In, with a lot of those athletes. So thank you for supporting them on their journeys. Where can the people find you online? Give me the website, social media, and all that.
Well, yeah. Okay. So for the gap, I'm not a big, not very social on for my own. So Jane Roos Gallery is my Instagram. And then there's Our Words Canada is the Instagram for the painting. And then My Can Fund is our website. So mycanfund.ca is our website. And then Can Fund 150 Women is all on Instagram. But once you go into one, you'll find it all.
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
guess we're all linked. Yeah. And I was just going to say the coolest thing that happened recently is one of the athletes we just funded. His mom is a Can Fund recipient from 2006.
Oh, you were saying that when we were in person.
So we're 3 parents now that their children have now become Can Fund recipients, which kind of ages me. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, like that's the legacy of a charity that has, really believes in helping the best athletic talent in this country achieve their dreams.
So great. Thank you so much for dropping in, Jane. Anything else?
Nope. Good. Thanks,
Okay.
Mercedes.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much for dropping in today. You can find everything you want to know about Dropping In with Mercedes at droppinginwithmercedes.com. Don't forget to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Thanks DJ Kenosis for the music and my mom for the intro voice.